LoreWarrior Online. The Hellion. Overview. The Hellion is the direct result of clan Ice Hellions' philosophy of swift warfare. Using a heavier version of the Mistlink's chassis, the Ice Hellions have created an effective blend of speed, armor, and firepower. A fast and capable fighter, the Hellion can enter a battlefield, approach and strike a target before being touched. Capabilities. The Hellion was designed to balance speed and firepower on the battlefield. Though slower than heavier models such as the Ice Ferret and Viper, it supports more pod space than either of these. The mech can also outpace lighter models that can mount a larger weapons array, especially when its Myoma Acceleration Signal Circuitry, or MASC, is engaged. With both long and short-range punch, the primary configuration can hold its own on any ground. The 4 medium lasers and trio of Streak 2 SRM packs also make it a potent headhunter mech. Responding to the diversity of Innisphere tactics, Ice Hellion commanders designed the Alpha variant to function as a mobile harassment platform. Its 3 LRM-10 packs become devastating when paired with NARC-equipped mechs. Paying little heed to safety, the Hellion B has been outfitted with as many heavy lasers as possible to provide a knockout punch to enemy mechs, though additional heatsinks were added. A pilot who does fire all of his heavy lasers at once will have more to worry about than a little static across the monitors. Far more heat efficient then, and just as deadly, is the C variant, combining one of Clan Coyote's ATM systems with a battery of lasers tied into a targeting computer. This new variant is already a highly regarded headhunter. Deployment. The Hellion is popular among the Ice Hellions, appearing in nearly every light star. In other clans it's far less common, but appears periodically among the toumans of all the homeworld clans. A surprising number, though, have surfaced in the clan OZs, however, undoubtedly owing to the loss of an entire Hellion shipment from Hector to the Diamond Sharks. Right, so the Hellion is a 30-tonner. Its chassis is the Hellion Light Endosteel version 5. Power plant is a 210XL, a cruise speed of 76 kph and a maximum speed of 119. With its MASC engaged, that's up to 151 kph. It has no jump capacity, though. Its armor is compound gamma ferrofibrous, and armament is 11.5 tons of pod space. Manufactured by Hector Mechworks Facility Alpha, its communication system is the HCFA 3035 3.0, and its targeting and tracking system is the HCFA 3047 1.5. Stat-wise, this translates into a mech that can walk 7 and run 11, 14 when it has MASC engaged, with 10 double heatsinks on the Prime configuration. This means that it has armor of 9 on the head, 15 on the CT with 5 on the rear, 10 on the side torsos with 4 on the rear, and then 10 on the arms and 14 on the legs. So, relatively okay armor, but this is definitely going more for speed and weaponry over survivability. Can't get hit, you don't need to worry about your armor, right? So, as it says, the primary configuration is what you can see in the artwork. It's a pair of ER medium lasers in the right arm, a single ER medium in the left arm, an LRM-10 in the right torso, with 12 shots of ammunition in the right torso as well, a Streak SRM-2 in the right torso as well, with the other Streak SRM-2 being located in the left torso, and then finally we have a ER medium laser in the head, and the ammunition for the Streak 2s in the left torso. Now, I actually think there's a bit of a problem with the art here, because it says one Streak 2 is in the right torso, and then you've got another... Oh no, it's 2 Streak 2s, I'm reading that wrong. So yeah, it's got a trio of Streak SRM2s, and then the LRM-10. I mean, if we take a second to talk about the artwork here. Obviously, the Solitaire in the previous image was great. It really fit, it worked well. This I don't like. I think the missile pods are just massive. They're overly large for what this mech is. And I know in the previous one, the Solitaire had a really big gun, but that was a good idea of having a large, heavy laser system on a light mech. It made sense. But this is, I mean, the Streak 2s probably shouldn't be as large as they are, and the LRM-10 looks very, very big, like, overly big for what it is. The mech, though, is really well armed. I don't mind the head design, but I don't know, there's something about this, it just doesn't click with me. I don't know why. I think it's the missile pods are just a bit distracting on those side torso mounts. They're just so big and ungainly. But if we go over to alternate configuration A, as that says, that's a trio of LRM-10s. One LRM-10 is in the right arm, another one in the left arm, and the third one is in the CT, and there's ammunition in each of those locations as well, 12 shots each, and a single ER medium laser located in the head. The B configuration is a heavy large laser in the right arm, with 2 heavy mediums in the right torso, 2 more heavy mediums in the left torso, and a heavy small in the head, with an extra 3 double heat sinks, 1 in each torso and 1 in the CT. And finally, the C configuration is a ER medium in the right torso, a targeting computer in the same location, another ER medium in the left torso, an ATM-6 in the left torso with 30 rounds of ammunition, and a further 2 ER medium lasers in the CT. I quite like 3 of these. I don't like the heavy laser build, but I'm not personally a fan of heavy lasers, but I do quite like the Prime, the A, and C configurations. They're pretty good. I mean, for 30 tons, you've got a pretty decent amount of firepower there, which isn't surprising with the clans, obviously. But it's a nice selection there. You got plenty of rounds of ammunition as well. I mean, 12 in-game turns for the A configuration isn't bad for 3 attacks of LRM-10 fire each turn. Isn't the worst, especially if it's speed. It can easily get into a more advantageous firing position every turn, and I think if it's obviously part of a star that is being screened, or at least it isn't the focal point of the star, it means that it can usually use the other members of its star as a shield, while it can remain relatively unmolested by return fire, which is pretty good. The primary configuration is quite good because of the Street 2s mean that if it goes up against other light mechs, it's got a really good chance of being able to knock those out, outside of the quad ER mediums, obviously. But the Street 2s alone are a really big heavy hitter there for it against light mechs, and the LRM-10 obviously allows it to support bigger mechs in engaging larger targets at range. And the C configuration is really good because ATMs are just useful at being able to switch ammo types and fire at different ranges, and it gives it a lot more flexibility. And the targeting computer is great for obviously being able to zero in on certain locations or just guarantee a hit when you need it. So overall, I actually think the build and everything is good. Definitely a quite a nasty little hitter, but not a mech art-wise that I'm very impressed with. Again, I bet you a bit like a lot of other mechs that have poor artwork, the miniature probably does a better job. Not by much, but probably does a better job. So that's the Hellion. I'm not really sure how I would use Hellions, because obviously running clan games is a little bit different from running Innisphere ones. And also focusing around Ice Hellion. I suppose you could introduce this as an opponent in games that are set during the period where the Ice Hellions have merged with the Outworlds Alliance, and so if the players are on a mission to raid a planet in that sector of space, or are like as part of a larger operation, maybe they're trying to invade or something like that, they probably encounter this mech. So that would be an interesting way of bringing them in, I suppose. I guess they'd also technically be available as some kind of trade, maybe some because the Ice Hellions I know aren't averse to trading with some elements of the Innisphere, and I suppose if you had something that was worth it, or you could maybe beat one of them in a trial, you could probably take one as a prize. Isola, I think it is. So I think there's some interesting ways you could play around with being able to introduce a Hellion into a game. But other than that, can't really think of much else. But alright, have a good one everyone. Thanks for listening, as always, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye bye.